Unfortunately, the majority of our population does not know how to learn without the structure of school. And school never teaches us how to learn without the structure of school. If you clicked on this video just to learn how to study to like get ahead of your AP classes, like self-study for the SAT, unfortunately this video is not for you. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to self-study the topics that you're actually passionate about so that you can become the best version of yourself. When thinking about what topics to self-study, don't just think about what you think you should self-study. And what I mean by this is all the technical skills that I feel like the people or the internet may pressure you to self-study. Like for instance, go learn how to code, go learn how to do UI UX design, and all of these things are great, things that I'm also interested in, but think about who do I actually want to become and what skills do I need to acquire to get there. Don't just self-study something that's related to technology just because people say that's a booming industry and you're going to make a lot of money through that. Like genuinely think about what you're interested in. For me, I have a Notion page of all the skills that I'm trying to develop. So conversational Spanish is a huge thing for me. And I'll kind of explain the why behind each of these topics after I list them down for you guys. So conversational Spanish, personal finance, storytelling, professional development with employees, business accounting, fluent Mandarin, email management, make over my LinkedIn profile, macroeconomics, HPS, which is my high performance student coaching program. Click the link here to learn more about it. My No Plan B short film, building a second brain, mastering relationships, organizing events, and new things I've learned about God as a Christian. These are all really integral parts of the person that I want to become. And I'll give you guys a few examples. So for instance, I want to go back to the Dominican Republic to do missions trips. So conversational Spanish is quite important to me because it's going to open a new door of connection for me that I wouldn't have otherwise. Email management, that is an important skill that I want to have because I already notice sometimes I get stressed with the emails I have, and I know as I develop more in my career and even just as a student, having a clear email inbox is gonna help me. So you guys see how some of the skills I wanna learn, it's not like the most sexiest skills, but let me just tell you, your self-study process will be so much better if you're just honest with yourself on what you're interested in and what's actually gonna be of high utility for you. When deciding which topics you actually wanna learn about, it's also important to see if you want to go deep in topics or if you want to be more well-rounded in multiple topics. So let me explain. My brother is someone that was more of a specialized learner, I would say. For instance, he was doing like a code camp. He was learning how to program, and this course is like 60 hours. This was the only course that he did online, and he did this course for hours per day, very focused on this one subject. But then me, on the other hand, I have like 9 different skills that I want to learn. So every week I'm kind of dabbling in multiple of the skills, and some of them have some overlap. So business management, business accounting, employee, whatever. All of these things kind of have some overlap. So it's not like I'm learning 9 completely distinct topics, but I am less focused on one specific topic than he is. That doesn't make either one of our learning journeys less valid, but it's good to know what type of person do I want to become, and do I need to be more of a well-rounded learner to get there. For instance, I love entrepreneurship and I love being a founder. So for me, it's like I actually do enjoy being well-rounded because I like knowing the different facets of every business, but I'm not going to be a specialized person for each one of them. Someone like my brother who's like into software engineering, being very specific in one topic is beneficial. So do you want to go wide, or do you want to be someone that goes really deep in 1 or 2 areas? Before we even talk about like study resources, I really need to answer the question of how do you stay accountable to your self-study plan? How do you keep yourself accountable without the structure of school? And let me freaking give you guys the key, or at least this is the key for me and all my students in the high performance student coaching program. The girls in the community have all really excelled in their passion projects, and that's because they implement extreme accountability. So they hop on what's called deep work calls with each other. Let me explain what a deep work call is. I'm actually on a deep work call right now. Let me show you. So I'm on a deep work call with Katie, and yeah, I just really needed this to make sure I actually filmed this video. But if you're self-studying something, let's say you're studying, software engineering or UI UX design, and you can't keep yourself accountable, literally just invite a friend to a Zoom call and title it what you plan to do, and it'll keep you extremely accountable. If I really want to stay accountable, here's what I do. So listen up, okay? Let's say you want to learn 4 different topics: personal finance, coding, UI UX design, and interior design. Okay, let's say you want to learn those 4 skills. What I would do is I would look at my calendar to be like, do I have scheduled times where I'm going to work on those? And then I would create 4 deep work calls and invite people to all 4 of those. This pretty much ensures that you're going to learn those topics. I honestly do not believe in creating a complex study plan on your Notion, to-dos and everything like that. I've tried that, okay? For me, the most effective thing has literally just been like, am I putting in the hours to learn this topic per week? And do I have people keeping me accountable? If you look at my calendar, I actually have like 10 plus deep work calls every week. If People always ask me, oh, how do you stay so motivated? Literally, I'm not even that motivated. I just practice extreme accountability. Like, cause if I have a meeting with someone else, I'm gonna freaking make it, right? But sometimes when we have meetings with ourselves, you know when you're trying to like time block something, like, oh, I'm gonna work out at this time, but it's just with yourself, most of the time you probably won't do it because there's not extreme accountability of someone literally relying on you and counting on you to show up. So if you want to be in a community like that where literally all your friends are like doing deep work calls together, HBS would honestly probably be a good fit for you. Visit highperformancestudent.info to enroll in the next cohort. We only have a couple of spots left, so make sure that if you want to get a spot, you enroll as soon as possible. Now we're going to be touching on resources for self-studying, and obviously the resources that you go to learn something is going to differ based on the topic. I'll give you guys a couple of examples of how I learn these subjects I'm currently pursuing. For conversational Spanish, I'm literally watching TV shows in Spanish. I'm talking to friends in Spanish. I actually talk to you guys on Instagram in Spanish. Follow me on Instagram at AnnieLongYT. I post a ton of productivity content on there and a lot related to study tips. So if you want to hear from me every day, go follow me on there. And if you're a Spanish speaker, send me a DM in Spanish. But I literally send voice messages back and forth with followers in Spanish. And that's an actual effective way to learn Spanish, like the way that they teach it in schools. I promise I'm not like anti-education, it's just semi-traditional education irks me. And then for personal finance, I really like going to my mentors about this. So I made a list of a couple of mentors that I can go to for personal finance that do this really well. But YouTube videos is also a really good source to learn about this. And I know some people are kind of like against learning from YouTube, but I genuinely think watching YouTube can be a really great way to learn, as long as you're not being like degenerate about it. Storytelling. So how I'm going about storytelling is literally implementation. A lot of the times the skills that you want to learn, you don't actually have to learn that much new information for it, but you just need to start acting. So for me, storytelling is like making more short films, being really intentional with my YouTube videos. So the more YouTube videos I make, the more Instagram stories I post, I'm getting better at storytelling. Professional development with employees. I go to my mentors about this and also YouTube videos. So my mentors is like business mentors. And let me just touch on mentors real quick. Mentors are so necessary for your self-study plan. How I describe self-studying, it's not that you're doing this completely independently, you're just doing it independent from the school system. So for every single skill that I want to learn, I have at least one mentor I can go to if I need help on it. For instance, conversational Spanish, I can go to my pastor who speaks Spanish. So it's really important that you try your best to identify people that can be a resource to you when you're stuck on something. And to be honest, I feel like a lot of people put a lot of stress in, oh, where will I get the resources for self-studying? Honestly, I don't think resources are the problem. The internet literally has so many resources that it's overwhelming, but it's really your implementation, your application of what you're learning that is going to make or break your self-study process. So I use a system called the second brain to actually remember what I learned. And I'm going to link this video from Ali Abdallah about the second brain because it is literally so good. Based off the author of the book Building a Second Brain, Tiago Forte. The second brain is a private collection of ideas, thoughts, and learning extractions recorded for future use to bring value to our creative work. It sounds super wordy, but it's pretty much where you put all your notes. And I have my second brain on Notion. Every single time I learn something new, literally, sometimes I watch Netflix shows and I learn life lessons from them. And I write it down in my second brain, guys. Put all of your notes in the second brain. I found that the biggest issue that was stopping me from actually utilizing my learning was having my notes in so many different places. I would have a specific notebook for science notes, specific notebook for history notes and everything. And it makes sense that you would have separate notebooks if this is an analog system, but I highly recommend digital notes. That's what works for me. You actually want to put all of your notes in one place because you're much more likely to reference them if they are in one place. In my second brain, I review these notes a lot and I actually use a lot of these notes for future content. For instance, right now I'm using my notes in my Notion second brain from the book Building a Second Brain to explain this concept in this video for you guys. So in order to really make the most out of your second brain, we want to use the acronym CODE. So CODE is capture. So pretty much every single time you learn something new, open up your note. You want to find the note-taking system that is easiest to just open up and create a new note. And then O stands for organize, making sure that your notes are in the right compartment for them to actually be useful for you in the future. Distill, which means like you bold, highlight, and you summarize, so you're extracting the most important information out of your notes. And then E is express. And express is so freaking important. Like express is literally the key to your self-learning actually transforming who you are. So okay, this is a really good metaphor for self-study, and it's kind of like about like reading the Bible. So I've heard before that the purpose of reading the Bible is not to get through it, but it's for the Bible to get through you. For instance, if you're reading a textbook about US history, because you're genuinely interested in US history, it's not about getting through the textbook, it's about about, is a textbook getting through you? Is it transforming you? Because that is the whole reason why I'm filming this video. I'm genuinely passionate about teenage girls discovering their purpose and excelling in their lives. So the reason why we want to learn new things is so that it transforms who we are, not just so we have this just general information in our heads, right? So expressing is really the way to unlock the key to that, because when you teach things to others, or when you create creative work based off of what you've studied, it is further solidified into literally your entire being. So for instance, I read this book, Building a Second Brain, and it has really stuck with me because I explained the concept of building a second brain to my friend. So I'm expressing that learning. I'm filming this video, so I'm expressing everything I've learned about self-studying to you guys. So this could be like creating a newsletter that literally you and your family members and friends read based off of what you've learned that week. Just make sure that your notes aren't just staying private and that you are sharing it with other people, sharing the knowledge. This could even mean, let's say you find an internet friend in our Discord server. I have a high performance Discord server where a ton of like-minded people gather to share their knowledge and study together, honestly. So you can literally join that server, find a friend on there, and every week, share your highlights with them. Even hop on a Zoom call and you guys can both share what you've been learning recently. This is just such an important piece of the puzzle. Okay, the last thing I want you guys to do, this is your next step in the video. Comment down below what you are going to be self-studying this week. And if one of the topics you are interested in growing in and self-studying, honestly, is time management, go visit highperformancestudent.info. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Honestly, go watch this video next. It's all about my best study tips for more like traditional education, like the test that you're assigned in school. So this is really gonna help you. So I'll see you on that video.